There comes a moment in life when a person quietly asks a serious life-changing question. Not out loud, not publicly, but alone, late at night, feeling restless on the edge of their bed. And the question sounds like this: what's the point of continuing? You may not say it exactly like that. Sometimes it shows up as exhaustion, sometimes as frustration, and sometimes as silence. But deep down, the feeling is the same. You feel like giving up. And if you're in that place right now, listen carefully, because this exact moment is one of the most misunderstood situations in a person's life. Most people think this feeling means the end, but in many cases, it means something very different. It means you are standing right before a turning point. You know what's interesting about human life? Most people don't quit when they begin something. At the beginning, we are vibrant and full of energy. We have ideas, dreams, and plans. One day you sat down and imagined something better for your life. Maybe it was a career change, or it was building something of your own. Maybe it was healing from something painful, or simply becoming the person you believed you could be. You had a reason, and that reason carried you forward. It helped you wake up early. It helped you try again when things didn't work. It helped you move when you felt unsure. But somewhere along the road, something happened. An obstacle appeared. Maybe it came in the form of failure, or someone disappointed you. Maybe life changed direction in ways you didn't expect. And slowly that obstacle began whispering something into your mind. Maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe this is pointless. Maybe you should stop. But here is the truth most people never realize. Obstacles are excellent liars. An obstacle has one main trick, and that is to try to convince you that the road ends here, that there is no way around it, no way through it, no way forward. But think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever faced something that looked impossible at first, only to discover later that there was a way? Maybe not the way you expected, and maybe not the way you planned, but a way appeared. That's because life rarely moves in straight lines, but in curves, detours, and unexpected doors. Sometimes the answer you need is already forming somewhere, into something you couldn't yet see. An idea, a person, a chance meeting, a small opportunity. But if you give up too early, you leave the story before the next chapter arrives. If you're enjoying this video, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me remind you of something important. You did not arrive at this point in life by accident. You made it here because something inside you kept moving. There were moments when you wanted to stop before, moments when you were tired, or when things didn't make sense, but somehow you kept going. That tells us something about you. It tells us you are not someone who quits easily. And there is another reason you've made it this far. You had a reason. People without a reason usually stop very quickly. But you had something that kept pulling you forward. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe it was responsibility. Maybe it was the desire to prove something to yourself. Maybe it was the quiet voice that kept saying, "Keep going, just a little longer." And that voice still exists, even if it feels faint right now. Almost everyone experiences this moment. First, you begin with a plan. You see the direction clearly. You imagine the destination. But life happens. Time passes. Responsibilities grow. Unexpected problems show up. And one day you realize something strange. You're still moving, but you no longer remember the original plan. You feel lost, confused, like you're wandering instead of building. And that feeling can make a person want to stop completely. But here is something worth understanding. Sometimes the original plan was never meant to stay the same. Plans change, or desired paths lead to somewhere unexpected. But the deeper reason inside you, the thing that made you begin, that part rarely disappears. It simply waits for you to lift your head again. Let's talk about the obstacle for a moment. Because the obstacle is not always the real problem. The real problem is the story the obstacle tells your mind. It tells you, there is no way out. You've gone as far as you can. Or, this is the end of the road. But imagine this for a second. What if the obstacle is not the end? What if it's simply a test of patience? What if help is already on its way? Maybe someone will appear with the advice you need. Maybe an idea will arrive when you least expect it. Maybe tomorrow you'll see something you couldn't see today. But none of those things can happen if you decide the story is over. Try this simple thought experiment. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. 5 years older, wiser, further down the road. Now imagine that future version of you looking back at this moment. What do they see? Do they see someone who quit too early? Someone who allowed a difficult moment to define the rest of their life? Or do they see someone who stayed in the game? Someone who pushed through confusion? Someone who refused to surrender to temporary darkness? Picture that future version of yourself saying something simple. Thank you for not giving up. Because the truth is, many of the things we are most proud of in life almost ended before they began. Sometimes progress is not about winning, but simply about lifting your head up again. That's it, not solving everything, nor fixing every problem. Just refusing to stay down. There is strength in that simple act. Because when you lift your head, you start seeing again. Possibilities return, hope returns, energy slowly returns. And once that happens, something else becomes possible. Movement, even something small. One step, one idea, one attempt, and let each movement lead to an unexpected breakthrough. Deep inside every person, there is a quiet form of accountability. The type that has nothing to do with other people, nor the kind that comes from external pressures or expectations. Something much deeper. It's the part of you that knows what you're capable of becoming. That part that doesn't disappear when things get tough. It waits. It watches. It reminds you, you were meant for more than this. That voice is not trying to stir up problems, but to wake you up. It's reminding you that your story is not finished. It whispers, it has only just begun. Think about a stormy day. Dark clouds, heavy rain and wind. When you're standing inside the storm, it feels endless. It feels like the sky will always look that way. But storms pass. And when they do, something surprising often happens. The sky opens, light returns, and the world looks like itself again. Your current struggle might feel like that storm, but storms are temporary. So if you are standing in that place where quitting feels easier than continuing, remember this: you don't have to be at the top today. You don't need all the answers right now. You don't even need perfect confidence at this moment. You only need one decision. Do not give up, not because life is easy or everything makes sense, but because something inside you still believes your story is worth continuing. And one day, sooner than you think, you may look back and say, I'm glad I didn't stop. So hold on, lift your head, take the next step, and whatever you do, don't give up.